Today we're going to be going over 10 super safe blind buy scents that you can pull the trigger on right now, having not smelled them or anything similar to them, and you would pretty much be in the clear. This is a very subjective hobby, one of the more subjective ones out there. So generally, when you are wanting to play it safe, sampling is always the way to go. However, not all of us live right down the road from a department store or a place that you can just walk in and smell stuff, you know. Could be a pretty decent drive for you. Maybe something that you're not interested in doing. Oftentimes as well, especially with some of these designer brands lately, they're coming out with things that are, you know, maybe a little bit more limited, a little bit more exclusive, whatever, and they're not even carried in all of the big retailers. You can really only get them on discounters. So that leaves you with a couple other options. You can spend some money on buying decants. If the prices are good, if they're fair, if they're available, that's a great way to go. Or you can dive in through blind buy purchasing. And that is how I've built up basically 99.9% of my collection. And I'm not lying about that figure either. I blind buy everything. There's that 0.1% where maybe I've gotten a sample of something and then months or even years down the road, I end up purchasing a bottle. Very rarely though does that happen. And I never seek out samples first. I just look at something. I'm usually pretty good at telling if it's going to align with my taste, and I pull the trigger on it. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 scents that work really well for that scenario. I will drop links to these down below. Like I was saying, discounters are going to be the way to go. You're going to be able to save money off of retail, and you'll be able to get some just really good prices across the board on these. I also have a mailing list you can sign up to. Anytime something rare, discontinued, or hard to find comes into stock, I send out an email allowing you the chance to get a bottle for yourself. Recently, Issey Miyake Polaris came into stock, which is pretty hard to find these days. 100 ml, $80. Naxos by Xerjoff came into stock below retail. That's available retail all over the place, but getting it below that on discounters is kind of a rarity these days. So that came in. I sent out an email. Anything like that. If you want to have first dibs on some of these great deals, first link. Let's get things kicked off with Armani Stronger With You Freeze. So I think officially this one is discontinued. They're making room for all of their new flanker releases that are continuing to come out. And so this one has kind of been replaced with Stronger With You Only. However, it's very easy to get this one on discounters for around $65 to $70. Really good, fair price on this one. It's got ginger, vanilla, and there's some orange in here. It's essentially going to be, no surprise, you could tell by looking, a fresher version of this DNA. The sweet, mass-pleasing DNA with a little bit of a ginger, kind of fresh kick, a little bit of a fruity orange kick as well. Smells really nice, and it definitely kind of knocks back some of that overwhelming sweetness that you get from all of the others, basically. I wouldn't go as far to say that this is a summer version because it's still pretty sweet, but maybe an early spring version, you know, late summer, fall version. You could just wear it when the temperatures aren't too crazy in one direction or the other. Next up, we have Lacoste Match Point. So really, you could have put just about any from Lacoste in this video. They create a lot of very clean, very fresh, kind of soapy scents. This is one that kind of fits into that criteria. It's got cashmere, basil, grapefruit. It's very much a green scent, as you could probably imagine, but it's also kind of musky, a little bit woody, and a little bit aromatic as well, a little bit of a herbaceousness. I really like it. It's something different, a little bit of a change of pace here. You know, it's not something that's going to blow you away, but at the same time, it provides a lot of versatility and a lot of usability. You know, this is something that you can wear for pretty much any situation, any time of year if you wanted to. There are going to be better options for fall and winter time, but you know, spring, summer, just the warm times of the year, you know, this will do anything. It's also available for a pretty good price on discounters as well. You can get testers with a cap, I do believe, for the $40 range, get full presentation for up into the 50s. Really fair, really reasonable, and it's something that you can get into and you're pretty much going to be guaranteed to like how it smells. Versace Man Eau Fresh. You know, this is kind of one of the flagships of my collection. This and Nautica Voyage were the two first fragrances that I ever purchased. Believe it or not, it's got starfruit, musk, lemon, bergamot in here. It's clean, it's bright, it's airy, it's uplifting, it's refreshing, it's kind of tropical smelling. It smells amazing. You know, this smells like vacation. It smells like something that you would wear when you're just trying to enjoy the weather in a really nice, beautiful place, wherever it may be that you're at, on the lake, on the beach, whatever. I mean, this stuff just smells great. It puts you in a great mood. The star fruit note really makes this one unique. It just gives it this different type of texture and bright fruitiness that you don't get from, you know, a ton of fragrances out there. That's kind of what makes this one stand out from the others. Pretty heavy on the musk as well, kind of giving it some of that clean smell. So this is another one that's going to have a ton of versatility behind it. And I mean, pretty much everyone is going to like how this smells. People around you and the wearer themselves. You know, it's super easy to blind buy and get into. It's also very affordable on discounters. You can get this one well under 50 bucks. Next up, Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir Eau de Parfum. This whole line, to be fair, is really good. This is just kind of the one I chose for the video, but you could go with just about any. It's got musk, vetiver, and cedarwood in here. Going to be a little bit more heavy, a little bit more woods focused, and overall the scent is going to be a little bit more dense compared to something like Versace Mano Fresh, kind of going in opposite directions here. You know, this one still has a generalized freshness to it, but in a different way. So this one's a little bit more refined, grown up, down to business, whereas the Versace, just using that as an example, is a little bit more fun, playful, and laid back. So just different situations for those. But this is something that you can pull off for most situations as well, especially for work and school and times where you just want to be taken a little bit more serious. Super easy to wear, super easy to blind buy. I mean, pretty much everyone's going to like how this smells. You know, it's clean, it's a little bit soapy, very woody and masculine. What's not to like? And it's offered at a great price in the $50 range. This next one falls right around in the mid $30 range. This entire line is really good. They have some great affordable scents. From Bentley, it is Black Edition. So Bentley for Men Black Edition. Now this one here has got violet, tangerine, papyrus, some cedarwood in here, a little bit of pink pepper as well. So kind of is somewhat similar looking to Bentley for Men Absolute. You know, you see the papyrus, the pink pepper, the cedar, but it's much fresher. You know, that one is very spicy, kind of a pencil shavings type of woodiness. This is not that. You know, it is way more digestible and fresher, cleaner overall. The violet gives it a really cool texture, kind of an ozonic, slightly watery feel in one way or another. A little bit of a spicy kick from the papyrus, the pink pepper, some nice masculine cedar. And then the tangerine gives it a nice kind of orangey, fruity type of kick off the top. Another one that has amazing versatility, great for the warmer times of the year, and it's a great one for the price. Another one that falls right around the same price, actually maybe slightly less. You can get testers of this for as low as $27 or so with a cap, and it is 100 mil. I always think these are 120 or 125 ml for some reason. No idea why, but it's Rocus Loam. So this one I've talked about a ton on the channel just because at that price point, it is hard not to. This one's got blood orange, juniper berries, and tonka bean in here. Now, if this was going at a consistent, you know, $60 at discounters or something, I would still like it. I would still recommend it, but I wouldn't be nearly as excited about it. You know, when you have as many things as I do and tried these many things and own all sorts of stuff and spent way too much money on a whole bunch of stuff, you really start to appreciate things like this that are essentially priced at a cheapy level, but deliver on a mid-range to upper range designer level. I mean, this smells like it could be going for $65 all day long, but it's going for about half that. And to me, that is crazy. Great value, great bang for your buck. Great performance out of this one. If you want something a little bit more mature, kind of a nice change of pace at a great price, and you're wanting to dive into it via blind buy, because you're not really going to be able to get this at, you know, too many retailers and things of that nature. And it's also so cheap that buying a decant isn't going to be a whole lot less than buying a bottle. This is one you can dive into. Another one that's kind of in a similar price range, a bit more. I think this is going for mid 30s, low 40s, somewhere around in there, depending on what you get. You can get a tester like this, Coach Platinum. So tester, don't have to worry about a cap situation, but you will get a nice little sticker on the back, kind of providing as a cheat sheet so you can have some note breakdown back there. This one's got pineapple, vanilla, cashmere, and leather. I've had this bottle for a long time. I don't know if you can tell, but it has seen better days. It's scratched, it's fingerprinted, it's chipping, like the finish is coming off. This has been through a couple moves and it's been boxed up and tossed around all over the place. I really love this. I need to get a new bottle as well because I don't know if you can probably tell, but it's down to about right here. I don't know, can you see? Yeah, you can see that floating around right there, maybe. It's low. This is one that I do wear often, not as much now. I did a lot back when I first got it, but I also apply it heavily when I do wear it. And it's one where now each time I smell it, I'm thinking, you know, why am I not wearing this more? Because this is completely beautiful. The way I describe this one is it's a sweet vanilla heavy Sauvage. So Coach for Men, the original, kind of leans in that Sauvage Prada Carbon direction. This one is also leaning in that direction, but the pineapple and vanilla is adding a sweet tone that you don't get from any other Sauvage blue fragrance type of deal, you know? So this is kind of a different one in that aspect. The pineapple does not make this smell anything like Creed Aventus. I want to make that clear. That note is pretty much tied to that scent, and so if you see that, don't make the correlation. It doesn't smell like Aventus. It does smell like a sweet Sauvage though, and I really like it for that reason. The vanilla in here is killer. This stuff smells amazing, and it's super easy to blind buy. If you know you like blue scents and you can imagine a little bit of a sweetness thrown over top, you'll love this one. Next up, we have Ferragamo UOMO Urban Feel. Love the bottle on this one. Really nice looking blue. It's got bergamot, ambroxan, and ozonic notes in here. Love this one. Another bright, fresh, uplifting, and airy one. A little bit of clary sage as well, kind of providing a little bit more of an aromatic feel. You know, this is something that you can pull off for any situation, any time of the year. Significantly more versatile and also way different than something like the original UOMO and UOMO Signature. Those are much sweeter, much heavier, really only best for fall and winter time. Now, theoretically, that would make this only best for spring and summer, and I do agree that warm weather is going to be the best time for this one, although it is easier to pull off a fresh scent in cool weather than it is to pull off a sweet scent in warm weather. It doesn't work as well that way. You know, you're going to get some looks that might be overbearing, but wearing something fresh like this in wintertime is doable, and you'll be fine. It's, you know, it might be not the best option, but you can do it, and it does add to the versatility big time. Another one that's affordable, another one that's super easy to blind buy. Speaking of wintertime scents, we have SPICEBOMB Infrared. Now this one's got cinnamon, it has tobacco, it has red fruits, which I really like about this, and that's the big key here. It smells pretty similar to SPICEBOMB EDT, you know, just the original, right? However, the red fruits accord really gives this one an interesting fruitiness. It's a kind of a warm, spicy fruitiness, and it smells great. I love this DNA. I am not shy to admit that I think SPICEBOMB smells amazing. I still love the Eau de Toilette. The Extreme is one of the best designer tobacco and vanilla combinations on the market, in my opinion. But Infrared, I think, is easy to overlook a little bit, but it does bring something a little bit different to the table with that kind of red fruitiness and that warm spiciness mixing together. It's not something you see every day. And last up for this one, we have YSLY Eau de Parfum Intense version. So you could go with just about any when we're talking blind buy here. But I think, actually, the new Eau de Parfum Intense might even be the best choice yet from a blind buy standpoint. This one's got vetiver, sage, ginger, patchouli, and some geranium in here. So what this does, and what you probably noticed there by that note breakdown, is there's one key note in particular that's missing. It's the apple. You take a look back at all of the big ones, you know, all the way back to the original, to the Eau de Parfum, to the Le Parfum version, uses the apple heavily, sweet apple, especially in the EDP and Le Parfum in particular. So when you open it up, it has that sweetness and that fruitiness, and starts to get into the sage and lavender and aromatics later on, but that apple maintains that sweetness, does stick around. This does not have that, so it's even more aromatic focused than all of the others. The patchouli gives it a nice twist, a little bit of a green minty kick from the geranium. I love this stuff. I love the DNA. I didn't think it could get much better, and it's going to be situational. There's still going to be times where I'm craving and wanting to wear the Eau de Parfum, the Le Parfum, but there's also going to be times where I want to kind of step away from that sweetness, and that's where this one comes in. That is also one of the main points of contention for people with the DNA, that sweet apple. It's gone in this, and that's a big selling point for a lot of people. Super easy to get into this one. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. 10 fragrances that you can go out and blind buy right now, having not smelled them at all, and you're pretty much gonna be set to roll. You know, use caution, you know, do your research, make sure that they align with what you like currently. Don't go trying to buy SPICEBOMB infrared if you've never smelled a sweet tobacco scent before and you're coming just from freshies. You know, there has to be some discretion used and some common sense, if you will. But if you have a general idea of what you normally like and that aligns with these scent profiles that I've described, you're pretty much in the clear. Links will be down below. Deals will be going out to my mailing list. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.